Hi, this is 100 and 100, where we are reviewing 100 VR games in 100 days. Today, we are reviewing Space Pirate Trainer. In our VR game reviews, we look to cover every aspect of the game you'll want to know about before you go out and buy or try one of these VR titles. Space Pirate Trainer is a fun one, it's a first-person shooter, and we are excited to review it for you today. Getting up and running with Space Pirate Trainer is just as easy as any other VR game. You can find this game on the Oculus Store, on the Steam Store, and for the PlayStation Virtual Reality headset. You cannot, however, find this game on the Viveport Store or in the Viveport Infinity subscription, something we like to use, but we couldn't use it for this game. This game comes at a price point of $14.99, and we think it is well worth your time, money, and storage space on your PC. Without any more delay, let's jump into what this game is all about. As for the type of game, this is a first-person shooter arcade simulation game. You aren't going to find an in-depth story about this. This isn't Stormland. This isn't even the depth of Robo Recall, where you at least learn why you're killing the robots. In this game, you're going to be given 2 guns in either hand or a shield in one of your hands, and you're going to be shooting a whole bunch of floating robots. There are 4 different game modes that you can choose from, and essentially they're all the same. You're going to be on the platform shooting robots. Not a lot of variation here, but there is a lot of gameplay. As for the player perspective, you will be in the first person the entire time. You won't be seeing your arms or your chest or even your head or legs or torso or anything of that sort. But you will, however, be seeing your hands inside of the gun, and your thumbs are going to be well represented if you have hand tracking controllers. We played with the Valve Index, and we found that they were mapped perfectly with the Valve Index controllers. As for theme and story in this game, we're going with an 8 out of 10. It could have been a lot higher, it wasn't. There was no story in this game. We don't know why we were shooting the robots. We don't know if the robots were once our friends. We didn't know if the robots stole our firstborn child. We didn't know much. But what we did know was that the robots needed to be killed by whatever means necessary. There wasn't a strong story at all, but the theme carried the score all the way to an 8. It's going to be a lot of space, it's going to be a lot of pirates, it's going to be a lot of training, and that's how the score became an 8 out of 10 for Space Pirate Trainer. As for controls in this game, we're going with a 9 out of 10. The controls are nearly perfect. We would have loved to see the grip and the trackpad on the Valve Index controllers be used a little bit more. We didn't. But we did, in fact, get to use the joystick to select our weapons throughout gameplay and while we were firing the weapons. This made it very easy to switch, and this made it very fun to play with. 9 out of 10 for controls for Space Pirate Trainer. The music and sound in this game is phenomenal. A 10 out of 10 here, and it's really not up for debate. From the original soundtrack to the always exciting techno music in the background, we thought we were entertained the whole time. Usually when we play virtual reality games, we'll have some music going on in the background. This game, there wasn't any, and we didn't even notice. The soundtrack in here is going to keep you well engaged. There's no narrator to distract from your killing. It's just unfiltered robot killing in this game. As for player movement in this game, we're going to give it an 8 out of 10. We would have loved to give it a 10 out of 10, but you don't move in this game. The reason the score is an 8 out of 10, a high score, because the movement mapped to your head is perfect with the real world. You're not going to experience any lag, you're not going to experience any latency problems as you're moving and dodging bullets, but you will not be able to move in this game, whether it be with your feet or with a joystick, anything. You're going to be on the same platform without any movement for the entirety of this game. As for motion sickness in this game, there isn't a lot. We are going to give it a 9 out of 10, and the only deduction comes from when you get hit by the bullets. So if you're really elusive and quick and skillful in combat training, you're not going to get motion sickness, as the game is perfectly mapped to your head, as we said earlier. When you do get hit, everything kind of moves around you and everything starts to go blurry just for a second. This disorientation lasts for a few moments before you're thrown back into the realness of this game and the good physics in this game. But when you do get hit by the bullet, it's going to cause some disorientation. And I don't think it was meant to cause disorientation as much as you being noticed that you got hit, but it did cause it a 9 out of 10 for motion sickness. The environment immersion in this game is a perfect 10 out of 10, and that comes as no surprise to us. This score is usually determined by how well they put sound in this game, the player movement, and a little bit of the theme and story. And this game was a perfect 10 out of 10 here. The sound immerses you in this game. The environment itself was clearly focused on by the developers all throughout the development of this game. You can tell there was a lot of time and money poured into this aspect of the game, because no matter where you look, 360 degrees, you're going to have a detailed view of what it might be like to be a space pirate trainer. As for the overall score in this game, it's going to get a 9 out of 10, and this is an average of all the other scores combined, and it well represents how we felt about this game. A 9 out of 10 is on the higher spectrum of the scores we give, and this game is on the higher spectrum of the games we've played. It makes sense, it works well, and this game is well worth your time, money, and space on your computer. For $14.99, you're not going to find a more polished virtual reality game. This has been 100 and 100, where we are reviewing 100 VR games in 100 days. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below and tap the notification bell to be notified tomorrow when we release the next video in this series. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.